So I've been talking about them, but it's a Soaprentice update, and like a weird Soaprentice update, really. I was asking one of the new Soapprentices what kind of music they like, because we're in the soap shop working or whatever, and I always have something going on, but they can always use the Alexa for whatever they want. And she's like, well, it kind of depends on my mood, and sometimes I like, sad things, and sometimes I like, and she's talking for like, 5 minutes telling me about the things that she likes. But literally, all that's running through my brain that whole time is she didn't say Taylor Swift first. She didn't say Taylor Swift first. She did not say Taylor Swift first. And then, so, after she had told me about these bands and these indie bands that she's really into and all the things, I have to go, so what are your thoughts on Taylor Swift? And she's like, oh, I don't know. I guess she's okay. And now I don't know how to talk to her. That's obviously a joke, like we still talk and it's fine that you don't like Taylor Swift, but at the same time, I don't know how to talk to people that don't like Taylor Swift. That has nothing whatsoever to do with the poor, but my time. I will tell you all about the poor in just a minute, but before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudzers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 164 of 365 days of soap, and today we are doing the 9th bar in the soap 12 months of soap series thing. We're doing September, because that's month 9. That's what you write when it's September time. 9 slot, you get it. And this bar is actually really cool, and it's kind of a play on one of the soaps that I did for the coffee house line, right? When I did the maple latte, which I loved. And you can actually see it in this picture behind me somewhere, the September bar. So for funsies, if you want to just pause and guess, like look at this image right now and guess which bar could possibly be the bar that I'm talking about, and leave it in the comments below. We'll see if you're right. But, after you've done that, let's hit unpause and then go to the video, and we can talk more about the design process and what I scented it with and all the things there. I love that my shirt says hysteria today, because that's just a whole ass mood for me during this time of the year. I know I keep talking about this time of the year, and it gets more frequent, the references, as we get further into this time of the year. Those are all the Mad Mica colors we're using, by the way. Yay! And you know what, just for funsies, like for those of you who are actually around during year 1, and we're putting maple leaves on top, just like comment and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that this time last year, I did not also get more frenetic in tone and more disorganized and more confused with all of the things. And also, point out this time of the year, because it's nuts. And that's actually that's beautiful. That was a lovely, lovely, lovely emulsion, by the way. Here's the thing with this particular soap that I'm making. I am making it in a studio that is about 50 degrees. It's so cold, and it doesn't have to be cold. But since we actually started with the new soap studio, I decided to test because I have a heater. But I decided to start testing things that you guys might be experiencing while soaping in your garages, in your basements, in the places of the house that you want to, you know, you want to be sure that there are no children or pets or any, whatever. Because I mean, I know a lot of people who also like do soap in their kitchen. I personally, well, I can't say that I've never done so. I did exactly one batch in my kitchen and it was not good because like dogs were coming in and out. And I'm like, I actually need a really clean sanitary workspace and I don't want dog hair flying around because I'm really paranoid about that shit. Is it likely to happen and get into the soap? No, it's not. Did I still worry about it? Yes, I did. And then, kiddos started wandering around in later years. So it all had to be buttoned up and put into a place that was not the kitchen. And so my soaping itself moved out into the garage that we have never, ever in a million years used for actually storing of vehicles ever. And that was fun. Actually, with the remodel, hopefully we're going to have proper places to just park the cars, especially since we have the Tesla and it has to be like plugged in. And it feels so strange to just run this cord outside into our driveway right now because, well, our garage is not only not used for storing of cars right now, it's literally being converted as I literally speak this into a kitchen. It's a very weird setup. And if we were the channel to actually show the remodeling process, I would be showing all of this. But y'all are here for the soap and, me just randomly talking about these things, a little bit through all of this, but it's not the whole focus of the channel. So I'm not going to subject you guys to that. But it's really cool. The before and after would blow your mind. I'm assuming. Like, it's not actually the after yet, but I have lived through the before and I'm living through the during, and the blueprints and the plans and everything that we designed and are building, they're pretty cool. So I am very confident that the after is going to be a literal mind warp for everyone. Our house is not going to look anything like our house when it's all said and done. Not inside, not outside, nothing. And it's going to be cool. That's not the point. Anyway, I'm soaping in cold conditions just to see if I can recreate and mimic some of the problems you guys have been talking to me about and see if it's a temperature related thing. So that's why I'm soaping really cold right now. So anyway, the point of that was when I was showing you a nice good emulsion or whatever, really what I was wanting to point out was it's a false trace because it's so cold and my lye was ice cold, not literally ice cold, but room temperature cold, and that room temperature is called 50 degrees, and the oils were warmed up to just so they all melted. And it was wildly different than, 50 degrees. It was something like 85 degrees. And therefore, I was, in fact, getting a false trace at that point. So a lot of the problems that I think a lot of soap makers call me with are very much, temperature induced, and not temperature of the oils or the lye solution, but more temperature of your surroundings. And that happens, right? Like, yes, I have a heater in the soap studio, but when I am done, the heater gets turned off. And so I come into the soap studio at, 4:30 in the morning, and it's very cold. And I've been just not kicking the heater on throughout this entire journey with this 12 months of soap thing, just to see how it changes the pour. And if I can force a, bad bar. Of course, I can't actually force a bad bar because I won't let myself do it. But I am seeing problems that people have been emailing me with about, well, it looked like it was at trace, but now my bar is weird and crumbly, and they're showing me pictures. I'm like, yeah, well, that's an unstable emulsion. You didn't hit emulsion. But it looked thick. I know. I get it. The temperature of your surroundings does actually have something to do with it. So pay attention to that. I don't have any great ideas for you if you're soaping in your basement or your garage, other than installing a heater, like even a space heater, but like a good space heater, and one that's not going to burn down your house. Because I don't understand electricity, so just that in general, kind of, you know what to do. You're smart and good at those things. Just a heated space for the making is a pretty good idea. Now, that's not to say that you necessarily need a heated space for the curing. Actually, cool temperatures work really well for curing of bars, for sure. And humidity will be a factor. So if it's not an insulated space, the humidity is going to fluctuate. And so keep that in mind too. It's not a deal breaker factor though. Like when I kick the heater on in the soap studio, that also has, a lot of the bars curing, not by any stretch of the imagination, all of the bars, but a lot of them. It does cause some weird sweating on even my cold process soaps. So it is a consideration. It's definitely something to keep in mind. I haven't talked to you about this pour at all. I am doing effectively what we did during the maple latte pour, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago. So you could go back and check that out. That would be a fun thing too. And see the actual process. But basically, I put about half of the base color down, and then I layered all of the other colors, the 4 colors, just on top of each other. And now I am taking a hanger to it and going down and up and down and up, and only moving the actual hanger about 1/4 of an inch with each up down to create, a cool internal swirl in the middle of all that. And then I will take the rest of all of what's left and just layer it on top, and I'll put the maple leaves on it. I ended up really liking that maple latte bar that we did so much. It was very pretty. And so I wanted to incorporate that into the 12 months of soap line somehow. And so this is what I am doing. It's the September bar, because for me, September is a month that all of the maple trees stop, just keeping their leaves, and drop them all and change the colors and do the things. And so it made more sense to have this maple design thing in September than any other month in the 12 months of soap. And I also scented this with Sweater Weather. Now, Sweater Weather is a type. I believe it's a Bath and Body Works dupe. And this particular Sweater Weather I picked up from Aztec, because after our conversation about Aztec, when we were doing the fragrance review thing, I decided that I was going to go ahead and order from them again and give them another chance and see if their customer service had improved. And just for the record, the thing that I told you about shipping times being fast, that was not the case for me. Granted, I was shipping during the kind of busy season, but it did take about 12 days for my order to get to me. And that's normal if you really think about it. We're just so used to Amazon next day delivery things that we've just gotten spoiled. But it did take a while. And the Sweater Weather actually is very good. It's very strong. It's very lovely. I think I like this Sweater Weather better than any other one that I've tried to date. I think the most recent time that I actually tried a Sweater Weather was Midwest Fragrance Company for the Animal Crossing soaps. And that was a delightful scent for sure. And the entire experience with Midwest Fragrance was delightful. But that was the one that I used for the sprinkle bar, the penguin guy, and it accelerated and discolored. And I don't like discoloration. I mean, I obviously do not want any discoloration for this particular bar, because I'm going white with some bright colors in the middle. So Aztecs was supposed to not discolor. And as far as the actual pour itself, did you see any problems? No, no problems at all. Smelled good. Was it as potent as Midwest? Actually, yeah, it was as potent. Also, weirdly, bottle to bottle, they do smell wildly different. So they are different formulations for sweater weather, which means they are getting their scents from different places. And so that's cool. Anyway, this will be C-popped and gelled, and let's go check out the cut of the maple leaf sweater weather. Awesome. I got September and no with that one. A forever broken title screen, I swear to God. And it's nice. It's nice and shiny. We've got the white is white. The colors are colored. This is already good. It has not discolored the way that the sweater weather did for Midwest. So that is awesome. And the swirl inside is going to look like what? I don't know. Why don't you come back to the cutter? Where did you go? Where'd you go? I miss you so. Is that Fort Minor? Is that Fort Minor or Lincoln Park? I don't remember. Pretty sure it's Fort Minor. Do you guys remember Fort Minor? Mike Shinoda's sideband? Oh, stop it. That is beautiful. And this is like extra cool because, oh, well, that's even more beautiful, isn't it? Come on. That's lovely. But this is more cool than the maple latte because the maple latte was always going to discolor, right? Because it has coffee notes in it, it has tea, it's all the things. And that's so gorgeous. And so by nature, it is eventually going to go brown. I really did want this one to be white-ish because we had the white, from the August bar for sure. And we have a little bit of white in the February bar. And the May bar was supposed to be white, but it ended up going yellow. And so I wanted to get another mostly white bar in the line for the 12 months of soap before I couldn't do it again. And so this works. September is the perfect time to do this. And that is a very stunning bar of soap. That is absolutely gorgeous. There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just pretty all across the board. And the sweater weather is good. And speaking from somebody who has already, seen this survive, cure and all the jazz, it sticks. It sticks well. So Aztec is a decent go-to. I would still probably prefer, as far as potency of scent, Wellington, Midwest Fragrance, Sierra Candles over Aztec, but Aztec is a pretty good apples to apples to Nature's Garden. So your experience with Nature's Garden is going to be similar to Aztec as far as the scent retention goes in soaps. Customer service, I don't know. I've never literally ever talked to anybody in Nature's Garden because I've never had a problem with them, but they ship fast and their prices are cheap. So might be apples to apples-ish there. I'm not sure. That is day 164. That is sweater weather. We are almost done with 12 months of soap line, and that's exciting. And there it is, the September bar. And of course, it's sweater weather. Why would it not be? Because sweaters are the best, and fall time is awesome, and all of the things. Even though I complain about the maple leaves that are all over my property all fall and winter long, it's still fun to watch the changing of the seasons. And so I wanted to have that represented in this line for sure. And now I do. And we are almost done with this 12 months of soap thing, which is really super cool because that means we're getting really close to 10 days of thanks. And so I hope you guys have signed up for the newsletter at soapandclay.com so you can hopefully get a chance to get a full set of the 12 months of soap, on me for you for $0. That would be excellent. For the sudsers that have followed me along this whole crazy soapy journey and all of the things, hey, thank you. Let me know how you liked the bar below. That would be excellent. I hope you guessed right about which bar behind me you can see that ended up being this bar. You get it. You understand what I said earlier. You engaged. I know you're gonna. But yeah, I am out of here for today. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.